Hi, this is Nick. Welcome to ISG, where we talk all things real estate in the Czech Republic. Today we're going to start a new series on Prague's Brownfield Regeneration. In the last 10 to 15 years, there's been a lot of focus on the regeneration of old sites within Prague. A lot of them quite close to the city centre, in places like Žižkov and Žižkov. For a long time, there was a big focus on building out of town, on new greenfield developments, especially given the cheap build costs and the kind of market at the time. And recently we've started to see a lot of brownfield sites actually being developed and new projects coming on within the centre, which is a very exciting part of Prague's development, and also allows people to live a bit closer to the centre as well. So I decided to do a video project on these different areas, and the first one is going to be on Žižkov. The eastern part of Žižkov is undergoing a huge transformation. On this old site, nádraží Žižkov, the old freight railway station, they've been fighting for years about what to do with the site. Developers have bought it and they've tried to build on it, and there's been various issues with that. But finally now we're starting to see the first projects actually appear, and new residential units which will soon be available for occupation. So overall this is going to be around 7,500 units across a 30-hectare site. And this site is not only going to be about residential units, it's also going to be about commercial units, retail units, good quality amenities. There's going to be some parks in there, some cultural events going on in there, cultural buildings. So it's going to be quite a good thing for the local community. There've also long been discussions about Žižkov getting its own metro there. And to be honest, with this kind of scale of development, it's hard to see why that wouldn't happen eventually. But for now, there's plenty of new infrastructure going in with new bus lines or more frequent buses, and also more frequent trams in the region. Now, it's not only the old railway site that's being redeveloped around there. Metro staff have been building there for years, and they're on their 8th phase of their Masarykovo project, which is again a few hundred units there of new developments. And on the other side at Prague, there's been another few hundred units being built there for their projects. So overall, it's not just about the freight railway station area, but these other little pockets around there, which were like old industrial areas. And when you drive around that area, you still see that there's plenty of more development that can happen. So this will really be an interesting thing for this eastern part of Žižkov, which will be completely changed and actually become one of the more modern, dynamic areas of the city, taking after the projects that we've seen recently, like the Garden Towers project or Central Park Praha, which are a little bit closer to Olšanska. So we'll start to see more of those kind of quality of projects going further out, and the centre of Žižkov probably moving a little back towards that area, whereas right now it feels like the centre is more around the sort of Olšanska area. So moving a little bit more towards the centre, down Hartigova Street, formerly Koněvovo Street, we've seen a lot of new projects going on in there. Now these are generally smaller ones that have been infills of old buildings which have gone. So there's been around 6-7 projects going on down there. There's a new project that's going to happen on the site of which was the beer garden at the top of the crossroads at Biskupsova tram stop area. So we're seeing quite a lot of development going on towards the centre as well. There's also been the reconstruction of a lot of the panel buildings. Currently there's going on at Olšanska, but lots of others in the area have been redone, starting to look quite smart around there, heading up towards Zizkov. So this whole area of Žižkov is really changing quite a lot. And although those aren't strictly brownfield sites, obviously it's all part of the regeneration program. So it's quite an interesting place to invest, I think. As a former Žižkov resident, I never got to see all of these things happen while I lived there, but I always expected them to happen. Just the timeline has taken a lot, it's all taken a lot longer than we expected. But now it's happening, it's really exciting for the area as a whole. Thanks very much for watching, and see you again for part 2.